You're watching Beyond Markets. Welcome. I'm Esther Awuni. Many thanks for joining us. On today's show, we'll discuss how to drive STEM education in West Africa, and we'll be speaking to the Eagles. And not the Super Eagles now, but stick around to find out. As always, you can join today's conversation with the hashtag Beyond Markets. You can also send your thoughts, your comments to my Twitter handle too. It's at Esther O. Awuni. 5 students from Child Educational Development Center, CEDEC, from Lagos, called the Eagles, exceeded expectations with their project aimed at battling the extinction of the African wild dog with drones. Now, the students, Jennifer Olisama, Abraham Aniekwe, Phebe Joshua, and Ekene Umegakwe, and their teachers, Kenneth, Okwousa, and Emmanuel, Ojirhevwe, join me now for this discussion. Thank you so much, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you on Beyond Markets today. First of all, congratulations. Congratulations on making it to the finals, being finalists at the competition. But let me ask, I have to ask, how does it feel, Jennifer?
It feels so nice to be in the competition because, well, our best moment in the competition was the selection of the animal under study, which was the African white dog, and also when the announcement on the qualification for the next round was an occasion to celebrate it. Okay. So it was quite an experience.
I can only imagine. I mean, STEM, I know that it's not an easy task. Abraham, let me ask you. Let me start with you. How did this all come together? I know there was competition, the task or the project was set for you guys, but how did it all come together, selecting team members and how you all going to work together?
Okay, at first, I think it was on a Wednesday. We gathered at the physics lab, and our teacher, Mr. Emmanuel, asked us to write a report on animals which are going extinct, their specifications, things about them, their generic and specific name. And when some specific students did it, and when he combined it, he saw that some people did good jobs. And so from there, he selected some students, will be 5 actually, that will go to the next round. So I think that's how we started it actually. Okay,
Phoebe, let me quickly ask you this. Now, I know that there are other animals on the African continent that are going extinct. Why did your team pick the African wild dog? What was the appeal or the attraction?
Well, the African wild dog on its own is a very unique animal if you actually going to research about it. And it's actually Africa's #1 hunter. So those were those things that brought our interest to it when we got a research from one of our students, finding out that such important animal is going into extinct. How can our #1 hunter go into extinct? So thinking about that, we actually picked that.
Ekene, I see you smiling. Could you just share your perspective on that? I mean, choosing the African wild dog instead of, you had a number of other animals that you could have picked.
Oh, frankly, she actually started it because there was this craze like we heard about this African white dog. So we are looking at this particular animal, what's so unique about the animal. So we found out that the animal behaves somewhat like humans. And the color, like the way they move in park, help each other, like they walk like humans. And so
I was quite fascinated and just seeing their nature. Now, Emmanuel, as their teacher, how does this work? Did you have to work with them and in terms of conceptualizing? Did you work with them from the beginning? What did you think about the idea in the first place?
Yeah, I was the one that researched the topic.
Okay.
I saw it on the BIEA website. I was so impressed. I saw it as an opportunity for us to explore this STEM program. And then we went into work. I brought the students together. I called them, the entire class. We have just a few of them now, but initially I brought the idea open to all the students in the year 11. And I told them this is an opportunity for us to actually engage in a exciting expenditure. And then we looked at everything. We said, wow, this is something we could do, that we could participate in an international competition. We could also, when we selected, travel overseas and then communicate with people outside. Okay. So I brought this idea, and my colleague over there, Mr. Okwousa, also joined me. And then when the students came up with ideas of different animals, different different write-ups. We had to look into it. It was wonderful. And then we selected 3 of them, and those are the people.
I was going to come to that question. Ken, I was going to ask you, Kenneth, I was going to ask you, I mean, how this particular team was selected. What was the criteria? How did this, because obviously there were other students, but how did you arrive at this team?
Actually, the criteria that was used to select the students were those, because they were like close to like 28 in the class, so or maybe 23 probably. But then I asked all of them to submit something concerning the topic in question. So those that submitted and submit something rich, something of substantial value, so we consider them to be among those that will be in the team, because the BIEA said there should just be 5 students in the team. And I just want to chip in on the animal, because for me, when they brought in their ideas, the students came up with their ideas, I was just looking at this animal. They say something of color, but I was looking at the pentadactyl, that's the feet of the animal, that's the one, African white dog. It's not 5, that's the feet, it's not 5, rather it's 4. So I was just, even when I went to him after they brought it, I was thinking, what kind of animal is this that it has just 4 feet instead of 5? Okay. So it's something unique, something really special.
I can imagine. Yes. Jennifer, let me come to you now. Obviously, I mean, 34 other countries, but the teams are also participating. Yes. What was the strategy? And obviously, I mean, that meant that the competition was stiff. What was the strategy to win? Did you go into it believing that you could win, or you just wanted to get a good shot at the prize?
Actually, we saw the competition as an opportunity to connect with other students outside Nigeria. So, like when we got the news that we qualified for the next round, we were so shocked, because we never expected the results to be so good as that. When we brought the essay, the first presentation, we did a late work, so we never expected to be qualified to next round.
Well, I don't know that feeling, but I can only imagine. Abraham, let me come to you. What was it like having to combine schoolwork, I mean, did you get time off, or you had to combine schoolwork with the projects? And I mean, in terms of hours, what kind of hours are we talking about here that you guys had to put in?
Not really hours, but I think it took us days. We had to make our work perfect. So we had to sleep late at night most times in order to disappoint our teachers. Like, we had to bring reports, make researches about the animals, the drone specifications, things about the drone. So we had to just do things that maybe I think are extraordinary. Sleeping for 4 hours. So
okay, well that's short sleep. But would you say was it worth the sacrifice? Was worth what came? Emmanuel, let me ask you this. I mean, in terms of when they started to go, and I'll ask you guys, I mean, the challenges, but for you, how was it helping them, step by step, nurturing those ideas? I mean, the talent itself. I mean, what was that like for you? Okay,
the students are science students, and they love to engage in activities that will improve their thinking. They expose them to competition that will make them grow academically. So I see it as a way of helping them gain grounds in the STEM education. Actually, these children wanted to do something beyond the ordinary. And that was why when they saw the project, they were all with this zeal, this enthusiasm. In fact, they made us move forward also. They so encouraged us that we had to put all our efforts together, put heads together. There was a time we sat in the physics lab for more than 3 hours. And then what were we doing? We were looking at the idea. How do we come up with something new?
So did you look at did you take a closer look at your competition to know exactly what you were up against and try to devise that strategy to give you that edge? Yeah,
when I was mailed the requirements and everything, I sent to each of them to go through it, and individually they had to go through the project over and over again to know what is expected of us. And then when we came together, we put minds together. It was really wonderful. Okay, Phoebe, now specifically for challenges, what were the challenges that your team encountered that you guys had to solve?
Well, flying the drone on its own was a challenge.
Okay.
Because learning how to fly the drone, both of us didn't have any experience when it comes to flying a drone. So it was difficult, especially when it comes to the rules which were given to us. We must make the drone hover for some seconds. So it was really challenging. Also,
you had to figure it out all by yourself. You didn't call in some friend, brother, cousin that knows, drones to come help.
We're a team. We're working together.
Okay.
We also had our classmates, and I'm so thankful for them because they also backed us up. Another challenge we had was, as I mentioned, working with our schoolwork with the competition. It was really stressful, but as I said, we had the zeal. You really wanted it badly.
Ekene, I'll come back to you again. So you're smiling again. But obviously, and I'm glad to hear that. Although it was challenging, it was also an enjoyable experience for you. I suppose that's what STEM is supposed to be about. Just as sometimes when we all hear about, for some people that hear about STEM, it's like, oh my God, science, technology, engineering, maths, oh my gosh. Yeah. But share your thoughts on that. For you, how enjoyable was the experience, and is this something you would do again?
Yeah, so super enjoyable. I was asking the principal if since it was an annual program, so I was asking if it could actually be coming up and we could actually be going
something that could be frequent. Okay.
Yeah, participating in the competition because it's builds an imagination, everything about it, technology, your math skills, everything. Because even when we are looking at the algorithm for the drone, we have to use maths and try to configure the settings of everything, even to modify it. You have to put minds together, and really it was a very, very enjoyable experience. I would like to.
You like to do it again. Kenneth, for CEDEC, Kenneth, let me come to you now. Is STEM, is it an integral part of your curricula? Is that what the whole, CEDEC is based on in the first place?
No, there are other extracurricular activities we have. But, STEM as an idea, we have it as the club, STEM club for senior, STEM club for junior. So it's something that is just very integral, and you see students really, science students, and even some art students take passion in joining the club to see that they see what is it these science students are talking about. And some science students who, even this BIEA program competition we were engaging, many people want to get themselves involved. Those that were a little relaxed before, when they saw the drone flying, I want to see.
You became a rock stars of science.
Something like, oh, wow, aviation. Oh, how come? How did you people do it?
I can really imagine.
So it was really. It was fascinating.
All right, guys, thank you for your time so far. We're going to take a short break at this point. We'll come back and pick up from where we left off. It's been an interesting one so far. I've been speaking to Jennifer Olisama, Abraham Aniekwe, Phebe Joshua, and Ekene Umegakwe and their teachers, Kenneth, Okwousa, and Emmanuel Ojirhevwe. And we have been discussing how Nigerian youths plan to drive STEM education in West Africa. We'll be right back. Join us. In case if you're just joining us, students of CEDEC International Secondary School Apapa, Jennifer Olisama, Abraham Aniekwe, Phebe Joshua, and Ekene Umegakwe, and their teachers, Kenneth, Okwousa, and Emmanuel Ojirhevwe, are with me today, and we're discussing how Nigerian youths plan on driving STEM education in Nigeria. Thank you guys for your time so far. It's been a pleasure having you on so far today. Jennifer, let me start with you. And the competition is over, and obviously your team exceeded expectations of the judges, and obviously they paid attention, and you sort of put Nigeria on the map, at least as far as that competition is concerned. But for you, what would you say has been the biggest lesson that you've come away with from this competition?
The biggest lesson I have come away with in the competition was teamwork, because it took us a lot of time, because you understand that in teams, most of the times they have differences. But I think the competition has brought most of us together, the understanding, the bond, and everything. Okay.
Abraham, let me ask you this. Now, for the drone itself, because the plan with the drone, or the whole idea with the drone, is to help monitor, at least protect the extinction, protect the African wild dog from extinction. So if we were to actually, when it's put to use, exactly what would this drone do in terms of helping to preserve the African wild dog?
The drone can monitor the activity of the animals.
Okay.
know their whereabouts, see where, what their daily activities are all about, then know what are endangering their stay here on Earth, if there's any other life for them. So,
okay.
Know what is endangering them from still being alive, then try to prevent it if there's any other element or facility you can put in to prevent them from dying.
Okay.
So,
all right, Emmanuel, let me ask you, I mean, working on this project obviously was, was obviously very good and exciting for everyone, but for you, I mean, beyond this competition for you, is it something that you would look to do going forward every year if that's the case? Yeah,
I would love to go into more competitions. I was told that the next edition of the STEM competition is already out and we could apply. So I'm looking forward to that. Actually, this one is already a boost. We've seen, we have gone beyond all the stages. We crossed over, so we're ready to go forward to more competitions.
Okay, Phoebe, so does this serve as motivation for you to look forward to the next one, and would you be obviously willing to participate in it?
Yes, it serves as a big motivation to me, and I want to participate in such competition again. I can't wait for the next edition. Okay. If I'm still...
And are you confident? Do you think that, I mean, this time, I mean, with what you've learned from this first one, you have a good chance of actually winning the competition next time?
Yes, but I won't actually say winning, but at least doing better than what
you did this time.
Yeah.
Ekene, what about you?
Yeah, like I say, experience is the best teacher. So since we've gotten experience, at least we have an edge over those that are coming. So actually, if we participate next time in this kind of this competition, I'm sure that at least we'll gain more grounds in it.
Okay, definitely we'll be keeping an eye on that. Kenneth, let me ask you this. I mean, STEM, it's when I say it's a big conversation in Nigeria now. But would you say that there is widespread awareness on the need to have STEM, embedded in our education system right now? What do you see out there in terms of how widespread it is, and what perhaps the government too is doing to help support STEM?
With respect to that, in Nigeria, I think there has been this little cold feeling that's looking in Nigeria in general, because I myself, it was Mr. Ojirhevwe that brought us that idea about STEM. All we know then was this, there was this science aspect of club we know before they came up with the idea about STEM. So, because I like keying into science ideas, so I decided to key into it. It means in Nigeria that information or idea about STEM has not been that popular. It means the government has a lot to do, the Ministry of Education and other aspects that agencies that are responsible for the dissemination of information to students, they need to step up. Okay,
so but if, for instance, the government says to you as a teacher, in the education system, why is STEM important? Why should we put STEM in our schools?
Yes, there is this, I learned it, maybe theory, then STEM will help you not just putting it theoretical-wise, you now have to put it practical-wise. So it's just like when you learn something, you now put it into use. So STEM makes you to apply, so that it makes it work, make it feasible. It is not just the theoretical aspect, but STEM make it practical. Okay. That's what I...
Emmanuel, let me ask you this. As a teacher also, would you say that there's an urgent need to train more teachers in STEM subjects?
Yeah, there's a need for awareness. Teachers need to know more about STEM subjects. We have the science, engineering, mathematics. In fact, recently I just I got to know that it's no longer STEM, but STEMM. Where the last one starts for medicine. So it's kind of like widespread now, and many teachers need to key in so that we can help these children or the students we are tutoring, help them get a lot of technological skills, technical skills. When the children finish from the school, what do you have to fall back on? We can't just depend only on the theoretical knowledge. There is this application of what they are being taught in the school.
So, but how early do you think STEM should be introduced? Because what we hear is as early as primary school level,
Yeah.
which is what we're seeing outside of the continent anyways. Okay,
yeah, it should be inculcated in the curriculum, starting from the foundation, the primary level, the nursery level. STEM should be inculcated into the curriculum. It helps. One of the ways we've been taught as teachers is that there is this introduction to object learning, that these are instructional materials.
Okay.
Every teacher who is to engage students in learning must have instructional materials, things to show that makes this child remember what he or she has been taught, okay, and apply it in everyday life.
Okay, Jennifer, let me ask you, what do you find most intriguing or even exciting about STEM?
Well, in STEM, which they will call the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, medicine, we apply STEM in our everyday life, starting from our breathing, our cooking, and everything. So I think STEM is part of us right from birth, apart from the school we attend.
So we just have to recognize that we already live in STEM. I like that. Abraham, what do you think?
Like my teacher said, the same thing, like I want them to add it to the curriculum, make it essential, make people create awareness to individuals, the masses, that it is very vital to the society. Like people need it in their everyday living. So just crazy awareness, put it, make medias available to show information about it.
Okay. Phoebe, I mean, talking to your friends, is this something that comes up? Is it, would you say that for your friends or for your circle, this is something that is known? And is there, would you say that there's a high level of appreciation of what STEM is?
Not really. Those are science related. We actually know STEM, they actually know what
that's
STEM
what it's just for the science students.
Science related. But those are arts and commerce. They should know, I believe they should also know what STEM is all about, and should not believe that STEM is just for the science.
Okay, do you also hear, because sometimes what we also hear is that it's mainly something that boys would want to do. I mean, science, technology, engineering, yeah, that's what we hear. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you see that already, that few girls or girls do not have that natural inclination to want to go towards STEM? Do you see that happening?
No. As of recent, I think girls have more. Girls really want to go into STEM activities than boys, to me. Because I believe that we can do beyond what the boys can do.
Okay.
So I believe it's something that really girls can do better than it. So, but the only other aspect I know that people might feel that this is the boys' aspect is when it comes to the engineering. And I don't think...
You think that, is that a barrier for girls?
Yeah, people see, actually some part of engineering, not all though, as meant for boys, and it's not supposed to be so.
Okay. Ekene, what do you think?
I think that, yeah, the girl child has actually been participating, like having this one feeling concerning this STEM, because I know a lot of people, a lot of girls that actually like going into STEM, like they're really good in the STEM aspect. And engineering, I even have a friend that's a girl that's studying engineering, petroleum engineering. And yes, I know that there are people, girls especially, that are going into engineering and STEM.
Would you like to see more girls going into engineering? Do you think it will help
STEM
in general for more girls and ladies to go into it?
Yeah, it would help.
Okay.
But if not, it's
Kenneth, let's wrap this up with you. I mean, gender, it might not be a widespread conversation, but it's still a conversation. For you, do you think that it's something that we should also begin to talk about in Nigeria?
Yeah, you see, I took a survey of countries that are doing well.
Okay.
And one of them I discovered was Israel, and I think Sweden. It should be either Israel and Sweden, or maybe Switzerland.
Okay.
Either of these countries. And when you take a statistics of the girl child education in these countries, you discover that it's very, very high. It's just almost that of like the United States of America too. So I discovered that these countries, they do very, very well. The productivity is just very, very high. So it's just like, I come to realize that it's not just the education of the male child, that even when we see how we can get females, encourage them that, see, we are just, the only difference is just this person is male, this person is female. Okay. Everybody is like, it's like we are just the same. The same is just open.
Oh, okay.
In fact, if you come to in Nigeria today, you see that most of the best graduating students are turning out now to become females.
Well, that is good to hear. Well, Kenneth, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Congratulations once again. And I'm rooting for you guys for the next competition. Bring home the prize. Okay. Back to the country. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I've been speaking to students of CEDEC International Secondary School at Papa, Jennifer Olisama, Abraham Aniekwe, Phebe Joshua, and Ekene Umegakwe, and their teachers, Kenneth, Okwousa, and Emmanuel Ojirhevwe. That's it on Beyond Markets. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Remember that you can watch the show at 5 p.m. West African time daily and have access to all previous episodes of the show on our website. That's CNBCAfrica.com. You can also stay engaged with the hashtag Beyond Markets, and of course you can send your thoughts, your comments to my Twitter handle. It's at Esther O. Awuni. For myself and the team, it's bye for now.